There is a specific kind of person who refuses to let the machine do everything for them. You've probably seen them before without realizing it. A hand resting naturally on the gear lever. A slight pause before moving off at a light. The unconscious rhythm between clutch, throttle, and timing that looks less like driving and more like instinct. Most people never think about it. To them, a car is transportation, something designed to remove effort. Press the pedal, turn the wheel, arrive at the destination. But there are people who intentionally choose more effort, and that decision reveals far more than their taste in cars. Because this isn't really about manual transmissions. It never was. What makes these people different is not nostalgia or ego. It's the strange psychological comfort they find in responsibility, attention, and participation. Most modern systems are designed around convenience. Tap the screen, press the button, let the algorithm decide, let the car shift for you, let life become frictionless. And for most people, that feels like progress. But there is a certain type of mind that becomes uncomfortable when everything becomes too easy, not because they enjoy struggle, but because they instinctively understand something many people forget. When you remove all friction from life, you often remove attention with it. Manual drivers tend to pay attention. They listen to sound. They feel vibration. They notice the engine before they consciously think about it. Their brain stays engaged in constant small decisions that most people have outsourced completely. Psychologists call this an internal locus of control. It's the tendency to believe your actions directly shape outcomes, instead of everything being controlled by external systems or luck. Manual driving quietly reinforces that mindset. If the shift is rough, it's your timing. If the car stalls, it's your mistake. The machine reflects your level of attention back to you instantly. And over time, something deeper develops. You stop seeing mistakes as interruptions and start seeing them as feedback. That mentality spreads into other parts of life. Many guys who prefer manual cars are drawn towards skills that cannot be faked instantly. Working with tools, playing instruments, building things, learning systems deeply instead of searching for shortcuts. Because underneath the behavior is a deeper pattern. They want involvement, not just outcomes. And modern culture increasingly teaches people to only care about outcomes. Fastest result, easiest route, maximum convenience with minimum effort. But manual drivers are participating. That sounds small until you realize how rare genuine participation has become. There's also something revealing about the way these people relate to control itself. A lot of people say they want freedom, but what they actually want is comfort. Real freedom carries responsibility and the possibility of failure. Manual driving forces you into constant engagement. You cannot fully disconnect. Your body has to stay involved. And strangely, many people find peace there. Because the human brain was never designed for endless passive consumption. It was designed for rhythm, coordination, and pattern recognition. That's why some people feel calm driving manual at night with no music and no passengers. The brain enters something close to flow state, where attention becomes fully absorbed in what you're doing. For a few moments, the noise disappears. And maybe that matters more than people realize. Because many people today are mentally exhausted in ways they cannot explain. Their attention is fragmented. Their thoughts are interrupted constantly. Their sense of competence feels abstract instead of real. Then they get into a manual car and suddenly the world becomes tangible again. Action, response, mistake, correction, pressure, release. It's mechanical, but it's also emotional. And for some people, that feeling goes back years. Watching a father shift gears without looking down. Sitting in the passenger seat late at night listening to the sound of the engine. Associating manual driving with competence, presence, or emotional safety before they even had words for those ideas. Memory shapes preference far more than logic does. Sometimes what we call taste is actually memory wearing different clothes. And this is where the topic becomes less about cars and more about life itself. Because manual drivers reveal something increasingly uncommon in modern culture. The willingness to stay engaged with difficulty instead of eliminating it entirely. Most people want life to become easier. But some people quietly fear becoming passive. So they choose systems that demand attention. Not because they are old-fashioned, because they are trying to preserve something human. The irony is that modern culture treats inconvenience as irrational by default. If something faster exists, people assume it is automatically better. But human fulfillment has never worked that way. The meaningful parts of life are often inefficient. Conversation, love, craftsmanship, trust, discipline, none of those things optimize well. And maybe that's why manual driving still survives despite everything trying to replace it. Because some people are not searching for maximum efficiency. They are searching for aliveness. So the real question is not whether someone drives manual. The real question is this: how much of yourself have you slowly handed over to convenience without even noticing?